Okay, so I guess we'll start. I'm calling this meeting to order. This is the Laredo Webb County Area Metropolitan Planning Organization, otherwise known as the MPO Policy Committee meeting. And today is January the 19th, 2021, and it's 1:31 p.m. Today's Tuesday, and we're meeting via virtual and through Spectrum TV channel 1300. So having called the meeting, then we go to a roll call. Would you all help me with that, please? I don't have the list.
Yes, Ms. Briones.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Honorable Pete Sines.
Present.
Honorable Dr. Marta Martinez. Honorable Judge Stano Tijerina.
Present.
Honorable Commissioner Jesse Gonzalez.
Present.
Honorable John Galo. Mr. David Salazar. Mr. Humberto Tito Gonzalez.
Present.
For the record, Mr. Chairman, you do have a quorum.
Okay, having heard that we do have a quorum, so we're moving on to the next item, which is citizens' comments. Those interested to speak, this would be the time. Have we had any persons call in, or at least advisors that they would be willing to speak? And if so, we need to know.
We did not have anyone fill out any comment cards before the meeting. We are putting up this phone number that the public can call in at if they'd like to provide a citizen comment. It is about a 30-second lag between what's shown here and what's presented live on Swagit. So if we can give it a little bit before we move on, and I'll just use the opportunity to remind everyone, if you're not speaking, to mute your mic. It really helps with the audio. Even if you can't tell on your end, it really helps preserve the audio for the public and for the recording. And we'll alert you, Mayor, if somebody does call in, and you can proceed when you're ready.
Okay, good. Before we get to the business items or the additional items, because this meeting is a business meeting, yeah, Happy New Year to all of you all, and of course to the public that's viewing and joining. It's a brand new year, and we hope for the best. So we're going to item number 4, Roman numeral 4, and that's these items require policy committee action. So A is the approval of the minutes for the virtual meeting held on November the 16th, 2020. What says the committee? And there's a motion. Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge. There's a motion seconded by whom? Commissioner Jesse Gonzalez. A discussion. None heard. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Same sign. None heard. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. The next item is item B. I received public testimony and initiate a 10-day public review and comment period for the following, excuse me, for the following proposed revisions of the 2020 2045 Laredo Metropolitan Transportation Plan. And one, yeah, go ahead, Judge.
So move to receive and open public testimony, initiate a 10-day public review and comment period for the following proposed revisions on the 2020-2045 Laredo Metropolitan, which would be the amendment of Chapter 10, subsection entitled Operation and Maintenance. And that is all I have. That's my motion.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a second to that? Okay. Yes. Seconded. Discussion? None heard. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Same sign. Sound out if you're opposed. None heard. Motion carries. So it's a public review, public hearing in a way. So we have a 10-day period. So Mr. Schneidman, Kirby, we can proceed to the next item then?
Yes, sir, that is correct. Just as a reminder, all of our actions based on our charter require a 10-day public hearing period when we make changes to our plans and our bylaws. And then we bring it back at the next meeting for our final reading, if you will. So that's the process we're following to make the change to the MTP for this amendment that the FHWA wanted us to make. And so, yeah, we're good to proceed to the next one. If we do get any comments, we'll let you know about them. And at the next meeting, we'll make the final change.
Good, thank you. Proceeding or moving forward, approval of that's item C, approval of a motion to ratify the execution of contract amendment number 3 with CDM Smith for the 2020-2045 Metropolitan Transportation Plan update and Fast Act compliance project. Do we have a motion?
So moved. So approved to ratify the execution of a contract amendment number 3 with CDM Smith for the 2020-2045 MTP update, Fast Act compliance project. That's my motion.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second by Commissioner Gonzalez, and the amendment is intended to extend the contract completion date by 1 year from December 31st, 2020 to December 31st, 2021. The scope of work for tasks remaining to be completed include 10 hours of travel demand modeling training for MPO staff. There's no additional fees will be required. The total project cost will remain at $371,889.50. Call for the question. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? None heard. So a motion carries unanimously. Thank you. The next item is item D, receive public testimony and approve resolution MPO 2021-01, adopting the following proposed amendments of the MPO bylaws. And the one is Article 1, Section 1.1, entitled Definitions, shall be amended to include a definition for the Metropolitan Planning Organization Active Transportation Committee. And number 2, it's Article 2, Roman numeral 2, Section 2.3, shall be amended to include subsection D1, small d, 1 and 2, intended to identify the responsibilities and the membership of the Active Transportation Committee. So is there a motion?
So moved, Mayor. So moved, but I just want to make sure, receive public testimony, so it doesn't say how long or how many days. Is that for just today, or we're going to open it up for 10 days?
We did open it up. This is the
Just to close it.
it's ready. Yeah, it's ready to go.
All right, so moved to receive the public testimony and approve resolution MPO 2021-01. And it's for Article 1, Section 1.1, and for Article 2, Section 2.3.
Okay, and of course seconded. And just so we can be clear, it's closing the review period. Okay, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Same sign. Sound off if need be. None heard. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Now the next item is receive. It's item E, Roman numeral 4E, and it states receive public testimony and initiate a 10-day public review and comment period for the following proposed amendments of the 2021-2024 Transportation Improvement Program, otherwise known as the TIP. And it has item 1 there on deletion removal of project CSJ 0018-05-089, intended to provide for the replacement of a bridge structure on IH-35 at Uniroyal Drive with an estimated total project cost of $125,323,000. The project letting date was fiscal year 2024. So TxDOT has requested the project be moved 1 month from August 2024 to September. Okay, to September 2024. A motion by Judge Tano Tijerina and seconded by.
I'll second, Judge. I'll second, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. By Commissioner Gonzalez. Discussion. None heard. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Same sign. Sound off. None heard. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Next item. Excuse me. Is a discussion with possible action on the Chad Ruthinger. We usually have a status report. Do we have Mr. Garcia Perez Garcia, I'm sorry.
Mayor, before we move on, just want to note that Commissioner Galo has joined us.
Commissioner, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
As per Webb County, my name is Guillermo Coyad, Assistant County Engineer. Just a brief follow-up. We are still working on getting our consultant on board to do the additional environmental work that's being requested by TxDOT.
Okay, do we have any comments or any further action on this item?
Just a question, Mayor. I mean, it's been a while that they've had this time, so I don't. What, are we going to go out for proposals? Have we gone out for proposals? I don't recall.
No, we have not gone out for any proposals regarding that. We're still having meetings with TxDOT specifically this week, and we're going to do some more discussions with our civil legal department regarding the matter.
So is this obviously setting us back? We did have some sort of a timeline.
So far it's been about a month, a setback, so where we are right now, but hopefully we can expedite it or move it forward quickly. Sometime by the end of this week, we'll get some more answers.
Okay, so the next step would be to visit with TxDOT, and I see TxDOT representatives. Yeah, do you want to chime in too, Mr. Gonzalez, Humberto?
Yes, yes. Just an update from the TxDOT side, and I think everyone will find this good news. I know we had been in discussion. I know this is a very important project to everyone, and everyone wants to see this project get off the ground. So TxDOT has been working diligently with our division to see how we can get that accomplished and meet everyone's goals and expectations. So the good news that I do have for everybody is that TxDOT has agreed to proceed with the PS&E development for this project. That means that we will be taking over the design of the project. What that will require, though, as what Mr. Cuellar was talking to with the county, it'll require, obviously, that the county completes their environmental clearance, and as well, the city of Laredo will have to complete their right-of-way acquisition as well while we are performing the right. Once the PS&E gets completed and the environmental clearance and right-of-way is acquired, at that point, the project will be eligible to go to construction.
If I may ask, you're muted.
Go ahead, Commissioner Galo.
Yes, is this on the Ruthinger portion or is this on the Achar portion? Because I thought Van Steenberg was coordinating the portion that's on the Achar.
Sorry, Commissioner, were we asking about the right-of-way acquisition? Is that what you're referring to?
No, environmental.
Right now, it's in both areas. I know Mr. Van Steenberg is working on possibly doing some work also for the environmental, but we still have the finger portion that we need to work on as well.
Because my understanding was they found some areas of interest that they wanted to explore further. That's been 3 months ago. So I don't know what the status is there. This part on the roofing. So our part is on the roofing. We're still talking about?
Correct. Okay. But we're still, like I said, we're still working on getting the consultant on board to do the additional work.
Okay, and what do we lack to do that?
I guess there's some issues that our civil legal needs.
We lost you. We lost you, Memo.
I'm not too familiar exactly with what our civil legal department is doing or needed to get them on board, but I know they are working here. And I guess I can give you an update next month or send you an email with the information that's required. But it's really mostly contractual stuff that they need to work on.
Yeah, along those lines, could you maybe at the next meeting bring us a timeline and see what exactly we need. I know you mentioned the city of Laredo or Mr. Kirby, if you know, Mr. Chavez is not with us today, but you know, whatever requirements or obligations the city has, we need to know. And I guess whatever the obligations on the county side, we all need to know, especially them. So if we can delineate those and see which comes first, or we can all submit at the same time, or, you know, some sort of a guidance as to what's required and how to produce all of that.
Mr. Cuellar, I'm not sure, at least I'm not looking, I don't think the commissioner nor the mayor or any one of us are looking for another report next month.
Okay.
We need to get this moved on. We need to have something on next month that's a little bit more concrete, please. And we need to make sure that everybody's on board with this, because we cannot wait. We're already 30 days out, you're saying? Now it's gonna be 60 days out if we do another one next month. And so it goes on and on and on. Let's not continue punching the football. Let's just keep moving, but we cannot come back. I need a concrete answer for this on next month, please.
Yes, sir. We'll give you one.
And Mr. Mayor, I mean, this, I just don't understand on how the environmental part works. I mean, is David available? Because we're still working on Loop 20. I understand everything kind of got shut down because the environmental clearance still hasn't been done on the loop, you know, and here we are. It seems to be the same stumbling block after stumbling block. We have been making so much progress, but now I see this. As far as the right-of-way, I understand all the issues as far as the char portion have been remedied, and it should be all the deeds have, my understanding, have been recorded. So I think they're ready to proceed there. So city, I think you all need to move forward on that and try to get that executed. At least we'll have that portion done. And again, like I said, they have their portion of their environmental to do. And now we have a portion, because I don't know we don't even have any design as far as the Rusinger to know what to ask for there, do we, as far as right away?
Commissioner Gato, I can answer, I guess, that, and the county can respond, but we have been overseeing the development of the schematic. That schematic does define the proposed right-of-way taking, and that is what the county has provided to the city, since it is a joint effort that's being worked together. Again, TxDOT's role in this at the moment is going to be to help accelerate the development of the plans, and take that burden off of the city, and also save some money for the city as well.
Yeah, but no, I'm just saying that I believe all the issues that with the Mexican landowner have been resolved. So I think that the city can now proceed with acquiring the right-of-way like you all ask. And so we can move forward and take that issue off the table. And again, now we're just going to be waiting on environmental.
That's my understanding. And Kirby, could you follow up with Mr. Chavez on that, please, to see where the right-of-way acquisition is at?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Van Steenberg.
Well, Chavez, but I think Chavez was visiting with Van Steenberg, correct? That's anything else? So I think we all, or some of us, have a marching order. So I hope by next month we can have all the answers and kind of wrapped up. Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry,
Sure.
Marta Martinez. There was a talk about not just overseeing, but actually helping with construction. I think they brought that up last time with TxDOT being able to help with that as well. I'm not trying to throw another wrench in here, but are those talks still occurring?
Yes, Mayor, would you like me to answer that, Mayor? Or Mayor, would you like to take that?
No, that's for TxDOT.
Yes. So currently, yes, those discussions currently are ongoing. As we mentioned, the first step in that process was to make sure that the plans start getting developed to avoid any further delay. As everyone understands, this project is currently planned for fiscal year 23. And just a quick breakdown, We currently have $35 million of Category 7 funds, which the MPO has allocated to this project. And we are bankrolling $6.2 million every year that's adding on to that amount. The county has recently provided us with an updated estimate of $51 million for this project. So when you do the math, that puts us in FY23. So I just wanted to clarify everyone why we're sitting in FY23 at the moment based on the available funds we have and the future fund that will be allocated to this project. To answer your question on the oversight, that is something that we also are working on to perform the construction oversight of this project as well on this project.
I just have to say that I think that will streamline this process because right now we have two separate entities, you know, and we're, or three, you know, if you will, with TxDOT, the county and the city. And really what we need is somebody to grab this project and just run with it. And I think it's going to be easier for TxDOT to do that than the rest of us, to be honest. We know it's an on-system sort of project. We know that the value of this project going forward for the county and the city, and it really alleviates a lot of problems. And so if there's any way that you guys could work towards making sure you take the lead on this thing and grabbing it, doing the oversight for the construction, oversight for the plans, and just start moving, I think this project will really advance a lot more quickly if you guys are in the lead.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that is the plan. Again, we'll continue to work together with the county and the city to make that happen. But that is the goal of what we're doing at this moment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's it, man.
Thank you, Doctor. Do you need something in writing from both the county and the city to formally authorize you, TxDOT, to do what they're suggesting?
At this moment, Mayor, what that would require, the formality would be updating the current AFA in place. I know that there are other talks going on as well in regards to potentially bringing this roadway on system, because it right now as it stands, it's an off-system roadway. So we are trying to have those discussions with the city, and I believe I have spoken to Kirby. Those are meetings that we're going to have here pretty soon to decide what is going to be the ultimate direction the city would like to take this roadway moving forward.
Okay, because I think as suggested, this way we can just look to TxDOT for these reports, and you in turn can tell us who's lagging or
The bids were very favorable. Great work to the Laredo District's team with Tito Gonzalez as well as Denise, the PM. The RMA did concur with the bid amount, and from the last report from the district, I believe we're looking at probably construction commencing February, March timeframe. Congratulations to everyone on this. Next item, of course, is Los Presidentes, from Cuatro Vientos to Concord Hills. This project was advertised in late November through December, and the bid opening occurred on the 30th of December. The bids did come in. The apparent low bidder is MTZ Construction. And I believe this evening at City Council, on the consent agenda, Council will provide their approval to accept this bid and move forward to the next phase for construction. Construction, I believe, we're also looking at around a March timeframe to commence. And Mr. Mayor, if you recall, this particular project, Los Presidentes, is a joint effort, similar to what Killam was, between the City of Laredo, the RMA, and the Webb County Drainage District. So these are two very successful projects that are going to be turning dirt this year, so we're really happy about it. Next item is Bioseal Road. As everyone knows, this is the RMA's first project, and it is still ongoing. The latest efforts we had ongoing with it was with the geotechnical engineering study for the pavement design and the traffic engineering component. Those items are not complete, and we have updated our cost estimates accordingly. Very recently, Mr. Mayor and Judge, if you recall, we had a meeting with senior leadership from TxDOT, with Deputy Executive Director Mark Williams and Operations Manager Quincy Allen, among others. It was a very good presentation. This was orchestrated by Congressman Henry Cuellar. In the amount basically to request for support from TxDOT for the funding gap for the project. We're going to have a follow-up meeting with the Texas Transportation Commission, specifically with Chairman Bruce Bugg. Congressman Cuellar is supporting us in that effort to have that meeting, hopefully for later this month. Last item is our next board meeting. Our next board meeting, we're tentatively looking at the 11th of February. Please be looking for an invite from us in that regard. It'll be via WebEx. So that should be forthcoming soon. Are there any questions?
Do we have any questions for the gentleman? And if not, thank you so much for your comments. Mr. Sneidman, I know we're in the process of setting up maybe a joint meeting for the city and the county by way of a workshop, but you'll be having more information for us. You're shooting for the second Thursday in February, correct?
Yes, sir.
At 11 a.m. FYI for everyone.
Yes, sir. If you allow me to share some director's comments, that's one of the items I wanted to state. After speaking with you and TxDOT and understanding where the county's at as well, it would be good, haven't done it in a while. As far as I know, we haven't done it, but to have a joint meeting as the MPO to include all commissioners and all council members. So we'll notice it. It'll be a workshop, and we'll sit down with TxDOT. And Humberto and I have both wanted to definitely improve the planning process with our major transportation infrastructure. And this is one step. This is the first step, making sure everybody's informed and we gather everybody's priorities and input. We won't be taking any action on that meeting. It'll be a workshop, but it will be an opportunity for us all to come together, for TxDOT to talk about all the short-term projects, and then to gather input of, is this the priority that you as elected officials in Webb County, is this your priority? Is this how you see it? So it'll be a good opportunity for some instruction, but really to gather your input on what the priority should be for infrastructure. So we're looking at the second Thursday in February. We're working out some of the details with city management for the council members, but I also would like to know, commissioners, if that works for your availability. It's Thursday, the 11th, I believe, of February. And that's we're thinking 11 to 12, maybe 12:30 at the latest. 11 to 12:30. How does that look, commissioners? And Judge?
That should be okay on my end.
Thank you, Commissioner Gonzalez.
And this is virtual, obviously.
I believe that should be good.
Okay. We will send that out very soon to get it on your agenda. If you can make it, if you can't, we'll have it recorded. It'll be publicly noticed. You can watch it later, and we can gather any input at any time, but it's just a good opportunity for us all to sit down. And Humberto and I will be working on that together, presenting to you for that. I just wanted to give you an update on the active transportation plan. That will be coming at the next MPO policy committee meeting to ask for you to adopt it as the MPO. There aren't really any policies per se there are some policies as an MPO that adopting that will impact. But it is more important for a document as the City of Laredo to adopt. We also wanted to, if it's okay, Judge, I wanted to come and present to your county commission as well and give you transportation plan that we committed, that we completed, we saved about $200,000 in that process, and we're able to pay for staff to join the team, Jason and Juan. And those guys are now the experts in active transportation in Laredo and in Webb County. We didn't hire them, and then they left and went back to San Antonio or Austin or wherever we get our consultants from. So that, as part of that, Vanessa Guerra, I've asked to move over to the planning side, the city's planning side, and work on some very important things, one of which is the historic district. And she's going to be our historic preservation officer, as well as over zoning and board of adjustment. And I've moved Gracie Briones into the position as the MPO planning manager. So she's replacing Vanessa for that. So if there's any reason you need to contact Vanessa, Gracie is the one that you'll direct that to, or of course me as well. And we'll be working very closely together to fill out the rest of the team. We have one more position available, one more planner position available to hire in the MPO. And we'll be doing a lot of trainings and working on a lot of projects internally. We're very excited about the progress we made and we're making. And so, Gracie, if you'd like to quickly introduce yourself to the commissioners and to the council members and the rest of the policy committee.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Snackman. Again, well, looking forward to working with all of you, and hopefully we can work together on all these projects. Very interesting. I'll be here for anything that it's needed.
Gracie started her career as a planner and even worked on transportation projects with TxDOT back then, and then did some great work in the Parks Department for quite a few years, and has now come back to her first love, which is planning. So we're happy to have her with us. She's great. We've got a great team. We're really excited. And I want to say thank you very much to the policy committee, because I came to you and I said, hey, we can do this a different way. We can staff up. We don't have to use consultants. We can keep that expertise in-house. And I hope as you review the active transportation plan, you can see, hey, they can do this. They're capable. We can have staff do a lot of these projects and take ownership. And what we get is a better product at the end of the day. Not to say consultants don't have a purpose, they do. But when we do projects, when we lead projects, when we do them in-house, you as elected officials are going to get better results. And I hope that's what we're demonstrating in that process. The one last thing I have to say is we're expecting 2 new committee members based on the mayor's appointments. I want to do an orientation for both of them. However, I wanted to ask if you would like, I can make that a public meeting. I can notice it. Then if any of you want to show up, if you have time in your schedule, then everybody can be there. And maybe it's a good refresher for everybody, because it'll basically be like an MPO 101, which is never bad to refresh those things. Would you like me to do that, make it a public meeting and notice it so everyone can attend, or should I just work with them individually?
I think so. I think there's value in people knowing, what's going on. It's just further information, I think. And those 2 committee people would be Vanessa Perez and Ruben Gutierrez. Ruben, because of, the Loop 20, and he's very mindful. He ran on that. So he's very focused on that. Plus other projects. And of course, Vanessa, because of the industry and the Mines Road significance and so on. So, yeah, but then again, the other committee members may chime in as well and see what their thoughts and suggestions may be.
Would any of you attend if we had an MPO 101 orientation meeting?
I'm watching them online, Mr. Snyderman.
Yes, we did do an MPO 101 for staff. Well, I guess and elected officials too. There is a YouTube video out there, but it ended up getting pretty intense, pretty detailed, and I want to stay more higher level and a lot of Q&A.
Yeah, I'd be interested in attending, sir, for sure.
Okay. Anybody else? Because if it's just a few, we don't need to notice it. Okay, maybe we'll just do it. Maybe we won't do it as a public meeting, but we will record it. And then if you want to watch it later, you can. Thank you for that. I appreciate it very much. And that's all I have. That's all I have, Mayor.
Yeah, on a side note, you mentioned the committee, the logistics committee. I know tonight, when city council meets, I think there's an agenda item by co-sponsored by 2-3 council members, also in setting up a logistics advisory committee. So I don't know if both are needed, and if so, I mean, that's fine. But I just want to let you know that that's also in the mix.
I saw that, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to bring that up, because it may be an opportunity for you to comment that it's probably more appropriate for that committee to be over here in the MPO, so that the county, you know, it's more of a joint effort between the county and the city rather than it's the city's thing of having this committee. That's my thought. But of course, you can make your motion at tonight's meeting however you'd like. But we are planning, and we can move that up faster. We can get that set up in the next month or two here, and have a freight and logistics committee of the MPO that brings that community together and gets everybody input.
Okay, great, thank you. Do we have any other comments or questions from?
Yes, Mayor, if I may, please.
Yes, sir, please, Judge.
I'd like to welcome as well, Graciela Briones and everybody else. And I think, Kirby, I'd like for you to go back with me in time a couple of meetings or, months ago, and I mentioned
when you timeline I'm still on, so now it's 1 to 3 years, and I'll present you a plan this year regarding how we do that. Because I really believe, like you said, the potential of the MPO is not only all the things that we have to do, the feds and the state requires of us, all the compliance stuff. There's actually a really great potential of an MPO to be unbiased and to bring together all the players, city, county, RMA, the COG, everybody at one meeting, where then we coordinate information, coordinate planning, and actually do some really good long-range planning. And I think to really do that well, you need to be independent. And so that's the direction we're headed.
I'm speaking to different people on MPO's boards in different counties and whatnot. Everybody's kind of giving me the same direction. It's like, no, it needs to be an independent. Even the TxDOT brass in Austin will tell you it kind of needs to be an independent director for the MPO to be a non-biased. And as of today, right now, I will say that this is working for us. I'm not saying I'm in full agreement with it, because I'm still feeling a little bit like Commissioner Galo and I think we've all spoken about this, and we just want it to be fair for the county and make sure we have a place on the agenda and on the table. But right now, as of right now, you're doing a good job. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thanks, I appreciate it. I could not do it at all without the staff that we have. We've got some great staff and we brought in some great folks. And so Jason, Juan, Angie, Gracie, Vanessa for all the work she's done in the past, and also Dee Dee, who is another admin. Fantastic folks. We're a team here, and that's how I'm able to do it. If it looks like me, it's not me, it's us. So thank you for the appreciation.
On that,
No,
yes, go ahead.
Kirby, I wanted to ask, so I heard when the staff you asked were all active planners, not just planners?
Yes, we're all focused on how we can get people to bicycle more. That's pretty much all they're working on. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. None of them. Well, at this point, we haven't designated anyone an active transportation planner. We may do that in the future. It may be one responsibility that a planner has. We haven't done that yet. We're kind of approaching it as a team. We've completed the plan. There's some things still to do on it, but we're moving on to new things now, like the freight logistics plan, and we're going to tackle that next. We've got several other smaller plans we're working on. Yes, sir.
So you missed, and it was you hired planners, not active planners.
That's right. We hired planners, not specifically an active transportation planner.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, anything else? And if not, thank you for the work, good work that you've been doing, Mr. Steinman, and of course the staff that joins you as well. We expect a lot of good things, and yes, we are a team. And yes, Judge, I'm with you as well. I think ultimately we will have an independent NPO that you all can feel assured that they're independently or at least separately looking at your issues as well as the city's issues. Anything further for this committee? If not, is there a motion that we adjourn?
So moved.
So moved by Dr. Martin Martinez, seconded by Gonzalez and Jesse Gonzalez, Commissioner. All those in discussion, all those in favor say aye. None heard. All those against, same sign. None heard. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you so much. We'll see you at the next meeting. Thank you. Take care.